Here's that Fox News alert. The world-famous Sean Diddy Combs is expected to be arraigned on federal charges this morning following a grand jury indictment.
Now, right now, the embattled rap mogul is in custody after he was arrested last night in the lobby of a luxury Manhattan hotel.
And Todd Pyro has the story for us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, good morning to all of you. The indictment against Diddy will be unsealed this morning, and that according to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Homeland Security actually taking the lead on this case. The charges against the embattled rap mogul not yet revealed. His attorney, though, telling the New York Times he believes Diddy is being charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. Diddy's lawyer giving a statement to Fox News Digital saying, quote, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal." To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation. He looks forward to clearing his name in court. Now, his homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided back in March in connection to a federal human trafficking investigation. The rapper also has several sexual misconduct allegations against him, all of which he has denied. Back over to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much.
This is a long time coming.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, we've heard about this for the longest time. This case looks huge. They got the video footage from his house, his mansions. You got the accusations flying. So, and I guess he came to New York knowing this was going to happen.
Yeah, let's bring in criminal defense attorney Lexi Rigdon to talk about this. Lexi, last November, his ex, her name is Cassie Ventura, sued him for sexual assault, rape, domestic violence, and sex trafficking. The next day, though, that lawsuit was settled. A few others came out accusing him of different things as well. And then last May, that video surfaced of him with his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. And I believe that was the video in the hotel, right?
That's
in front of the elevators. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen, and what will we learn when the indictment is unsealed today?
Well, Ainsley, we're going to learn a lot more when the indictment is sealed, especially what people really want to know is exactly what he's being charged with. But to your point about all of the information that came out of him, I mean, this was a meteoric fall from grace. I mean, he was an impresario. He was involved in the hip hop community. He became obviously very wealthy, and he knew that this was coming down the pike. First of all, the lawsuits started hitting, then his houses started getting raided, and now he's selling off his shares of various businesses. His very expensive mansion in California is up for sale. So he's clearly been preparing for this and did come to New York with the understanding that he was going to be arrested, which I can't even imagine how he must have felt about that, sitting in that hotel room in New York. But today we're going to be able to find out exactly what he's charged with, which I think will be racketeering, just like his attorney said, racketeering, potentially violations of the Mann Act, which is transferring somebody across state lines for illegal sexual activity. And those are reminiscent of what R. Kelly was charged and ultimately convicted with. So this is kind of similar to what happened in the past with him.
So, Lexi, this is not the first time they've tried to go after Diddy. But what ends up happening is that the witnesses suddenly go away. Does that mean that it is different this time? I mean, we had a three-house raid. You had Florida, you had New York, and you had California. So does this mean that this time that the Fed finally has cooperation from witnesses?
I think it is different this time. First of all, I think that the civil cases, which were explosive with the allegations, really brought to focus his behavior. And then one of those lawsuits by a former male assistant actually has a lot of pictures and a lot of video that was referenced in the lawsuit. And so not only do I think they have obviously witnesses who are cooperating, but they also have evidence to support these charges. That was a very detailed and disturbing and surprising lawsuit that was filed by his former male assistant.
Yeah, and Ainsley was talking a moment ago, Lexi, about Cassie, his longtime girlfriend. She sued him. He settled the next day. Then five more people came out of the woodwork and also sued him, but they decided not to settle. They decided they were going to fight it in court. And then you come upon these home raids, and it wasn't the local cops, it wasn't the FBI, it was Homeland Security investigations that a lot of people have never even heard of, but they're the ones who investigate sex trafficking cases. That's a unique unit, and that's why they essentially came out with bazookas.
Right. And these are federal crimes. Obviously, the Mann Act is a federal crime. And then the sex trafficking. And there could also be potential for a lot of those lawsuits referenced rampant drug use and weapons. One of Cassie's allegations was that he forced her to hold a gun in her purse. I mean, so there could be also potentially a narcotics and firearm aspect to this as well.
All right, what about Homeland Security? Why are they leading this case?
Homeland Security is usually in charge federally of investigating human and sex trafficking cases. So that's just standard operating procedure for why they were there. But it just shows how seriously this has been taken after those lawsuits brought to light. And I think had they not been filed, there wouldn't have been the media attention and there wouldn't have been the substance for the feds to take a look under the hood and say, gee, there's something seriously wrong with this guy. And this isn't his first brush with the law. Nope. I mean, he was acquitted in 1999 of a nightclub shooting, which involved J-Lo, which was a very sensational story.
I remember.
He's in a world of trouble.
Right, but he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of lawyers. We'll see what happens. Lexi, thanks so much.
Thank you, Lexi. His lawyer said he's disappointed. Daddy's a music icon. Diddy is a music icon, loving family, a philanthropist, adoring his children, imperfect, but he is not a criminal. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. He's an innocent man with nothing to hide.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if his sons are involved, too, because they were all over this thing, certainly in the video.